today's tutorial, we're going to look at an advanced shooting skill, which is shooting on the move. Shooting while moving is special in the IPSC repertoire because it's one of those skills that you can't actually be forced to do on a stage. They can force you to shoot weakhand or stronghand by setting up the stage in a particular way, but shooting on the move is always only an option. Anytime you can shoot moving, you can also decide to stand still, shoot, and then run. And one of the things you need to do is know when it's better to move and when it's better to stand still and shoot. Keep in mind that when you're moving, you're saving time because you're shooting and going in the direction that you need to go at the same time. That will save you time, but because you're moving, your hold on the target deteriorates and you will not be able to achieve the same points. So you always have to bear that balance in mind and think about whether it's worth or not to shoot on the move. When making the decision whether or not to shoot moving, you need to consider a few elements. First, the terrain you're moving on. It's very difficult to hold a good sight picture if you're trying to move over very rough ground. So only use this technique when the ground allows you to do so. Also, what is the type of target you're shooting at? How far are those targets? It's difficult to shoot very long distance while moving because stability deteriorates and you'll drop points. So choose to utilize this technique only when the targets are big enough. The whole key to successful shooting on the move is to hold a good sight picture. You want to use your whole body as a platform to stabilize your sight picture so that as you move towards the target, you can hold the sight picture more or less on the A zone and shoot more or less A's and some close C's. To do this, the first thing you want to do is bring the gun closer to your face. If my normal shooting stance has the gun out here, when I'm shooting on the move, I'm going to want to bring the gun a lot closer to my face. I'm going to bring my gun all the way into here. Now, you might think that that will deteriorate my recoil control, and that is true to some degree. But since we're shooting on the move, we're going to be saving time by moving, and I don't mind having to shoot a little bit slower. What I do want to do is get my points, so I need to hold that sight picture stable. I'm going to bring the gun close. That's point number one. Point number two, as you're moving, you want to try and stabilize your shoulders, because if your shoulders are bouncing up and down, the gun is going to be bouncing up and down a lot. Stabilizing your shoulders is all about your feet position and your body. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you take small steps. Do not move taking very big steps because that'll make your shoulders move up and down. Small rolling steps, heel toe, as your foot touches down on the floor. Make sure that you are moving on a straight line. Make sure that as you walk towards your targets or as you walk in the direction that you're going, you're not sidestepping. If you sidestep as you walk, you'll get your shoulders swinging from side to side. That'll make it impossible to hold a good sight picture. Imagine you walking on a narrow plank, and as you walk towards your targets, keep those feet running side by side along that plank. That helps to minimize your shift of shoulders left and right. And the third thing to remember is bend your knees. Bending your knees a little bit will give you a stable platform that will help to stabilize your shoulders. You want to keep those shoulders from moving because that will enable you a better hold on the target. So remember, bring the gun in, bend your knees, take small rolling steps, and keep it on the same line. So if I bring all that together and practice moving forward to shoot on the move, I'm going to keep the gun closer than I usually would to my face, bend my knees down low, and make small rolling steps as I hold my sight picture on the target. Now, this technique will work equally well moving backwards. In fact, it's easier going backwards because our foot cushions the vibration. Small rolling steps while keeping the gun close. Let's try that with some rounds. I'm going to keep those shots tight on the A zone while moving towards the target. And we're empty. Another one of those bad primers. Let's try that moving back. It's obviously going to be more difficult if you have to cut across targets, moving to the right while shooting off to the left. That'll be the easier option for a right-hand shooter. The opposite direction is even more difficult. The key here is to try and keep your feet moving in the direction that you're heading and swivel your upper body towards the targets, allowing you to hold the sight picture. Let's give that a try. So I'm going to keep moving across the targets, engaging a target downrange. So remember, shooting on the move is always an option. It often is a good option, but to make it work for you, you have to be able to hold your sight picture on the A zone. If the sight picture is moving all over the target, you're going to be dropping more points than it's worth. So use your body to stabilize your sight picture. Bring the gun closer in, bend your knees, take small rolling steps, and keep your feet relatively close together. Don't step sideways. This way you'll be able to hold a better sight picture on the target. I'm Saul Kirsch of Double Alpha Academy, wishing you all excellent shooting.